sunflower oil, right, which is to add on the fats, probably because the almond percentage is too insignificant. Acidity regulators, right, monopotassium. Basically, you have so much emulsifiers here, and of course, they have to add in guar gum, gallant gum, right, flavoring, as you can see here, right, and sunflower lecithin. So too much of emulsifier and too much of unnecessary ingredients in here. This is one of the brands that I would absolutely avoid for myself and my family. It's the worst stuff that you're going to put in your body. Boom. Now, if you've been told that drinking plant-based milk is actually healthier compared to a typical dairy milk coming from cows, well, it may not be the case. In fact, not all plant-based milk are exactly healthy and real. This is Dr. Mark Leong here, a certified microbiologist, and I want to share with you what you should be looking out for when it comes to buying milk for yourself and your family. Now, more importantly, if you are in a process of trying to lose weight, all right, and you've been told that you're supposed to be drinking low-fat milk, that is a big lie, and I'm going to show you why that is a lie, right? So I want you to join me into a supermarket where I share with you what you should look out for when it comes to buying your milk. Let's go. Boom. Now, why most commercial nut milk are actually a waste of absolute money? So let me show you what you should look out for when you're buying your commercial nut milk, where most of the time we think that is healthier compared to your normal dairy coming from your cows, your goats, but in reality, it may not be the case. Let me prove it to you. Typically, you would see that this is almond, unsweetened, it contains all the vitamins, right? And it's made in Australia with no added sugar. Now, chances are most of us will think that this is a great product, right? It's going to be healthy. Well, I always say, look at the ingredients. Almond drink, 99%, water. The almonds are only 2.5%. Now, and you see emulsifier, which is your sunflower lecithin, right? Natural flavor, which is something that you should always avoid. And you have the sodium bicarbonate, vegetable gum. These are all fillers. So what you see here is that you literally just have 2.5% of almonds, and you have emulsifiers, you have highly processed sugar and artificial flavoring as well. If you're really buying an almond milk, it should only contain almond and water, right? So this is one of the no-no for me. And it shows here unsweetened organic almond. All right, let's take a look here. All right, and yes, the ACO certified organic. All right, so now ingredients: water, followed by organic almonds, 2.4%, vegetable oil, right, which is from canola, and sunflower oil, which is a big no-no. So now, and of course, you have your xanthan gum, you have your gellan gum, which is all fillers, right? So if you ask me, comparing this one to the one earlier, the only benefit this brand provides is that it's using organic almonds. But apart from that, there's so much unnecessary fillers, emulsifiers to thicken the milk, right? And also to add on fats. That's why they have to add in oil, simply because you only have less than 5% of nuts. You're paying for nut milk and your nut percentage is less than 5%. It's a joke. It shows here high calcium, yeah, which all this to me is all marketing, right? So in this case, it doesn't even state how much almond it has. But if you look at it, you have sucrose syrup, which is the second ingredient after the almond milk, maltodextrin, which is sugar, all right, your sunflower oil, right, which is to add on the fats, probably because the almond percentage is too insignificant, acidity regulators, right, monopotassium. Basically, you have so much emulsifiers here, and of course, they have to add in guar gum, gallant gum, right, flavoring, as you can see here, right, and sunflower lecithin. So too much of emulsifier and too much of unnecessary ingredients in here. This is one of the brands that I would absolutely avoid for myself and my family. It's the worst stuff that you're going to put in your body, right? And again, it's not cheap. Let's take a look at the price here, right? You're literally paying premium, right? Premium for a horrible drink. It's just bad, just bad. Wow, okay. Almond milk, 95%, sunflower seed, 5%. So if you ask me, among all the other brands, this is quite legitimate. So this is Dr. Mark Leong approved. The almonds are from California, but apparently it is made in Thailand. So you see, this is very if you don't see this carefully, you think this is going to made in US, but actually it's not. It's the almonds are from US, but it is made in Thailand. There you are when it comes to your nut milk. As you can see, most of the brands are not legitimate. There is another brand that everyone has been asking me, right? Is it really good because it's from the US and it's expensive? Let's take a look. Let's go. And the packaging is amazing as well, right? Almond, okay, cane sugar, calcium carbonate, sunflower lecithin, sea salt, natural flavor. Every time when you see the word natural flavor, please avoid that. Here you come, all the guar gum, gelatin gum. So it still contains a lot of emulsifier, a lot of fillers which are literally unnecessary, right? And the only reason they have to add all of this is to thicken the milk, right? Also due to the fact that the nut content amount is probably less than 40%, right? So to me, this is a no-go. You're paying premium for literally the things that you can get it at a cheaper rate, right? Most people think that drinking oat milk is healthier choice, right? Because it has literally almost no fats compared to your nut milk and compared to your dairy milk that's coming from the cows or the goat. But I want to show you that it may not be necessarily the case. So let's look at one of the most common brand that is used. Here you are. So the oat base is only 10%, and you have canola oil that is basically added in order to give some fats to it, acidity regulator, calcium carbonate, and sea salt. So the ingredients, I would say it is definitely better than the other range of nut milks, but definitely this is not the best choice, right? So for me, I would not go for this because the amount of oats are too insignificant. And there's this Oatly. Let's take a look at Oatly as well. So you got water, followed by oats, 10% as well. You got rapeseed oil. Rapeseed oil is actually canola oil. So you want to avoid anything where you see rapeseed, corn oil, vegetable oil, canola oil. These are all the same thing, right? You got a few forms of emulsifiers in here and a lot of unnecessary things that is not really required, right? So again, here's your answer. Make your own oat milk. Yep, I will not go for this. This is not Dr. Mark's approved list. And let's take a look at one more brand here. No fillers, no junk. Okay, let's see how true it is, right? Okay, here you are. All right, water, oats 9%, where the other brands were 10%. All right, rapeseed oil, and you got phosphate here, calcium carbonate. So it's all the same. It's all the same, right? So as you can see, all of these declaration sometimes may not be true. But I gotta give it to this brand compared to the other brands here is that they claim that there is no gums and thickeners here, but it is true that they don't use any form of gums and thickeners. So if you were to ask me, it's not the best choice, but this is definitely one of the better choice compared to the rest of the oat milk. I would probably go for this if I really don't have time to make my own oat milk. It's not bad. Now, if you are buying low-fat milk thinking that you're actually going to become slimmer and lose more weight, well, you are wrong, all right? Whoever that tells us that drinking low-fat milk is a healthier choice, they're actually lying to you, right? In fact, it's not fats that make us fat. It is sugar that makes us fat. So let me show you a real example here where I'm going to take a low-fat milk, all right, and I'm going to take a full cream milk, all right? So again, I always tell people, right, if you really want to, get lean, cut out sugar from your diet. And again, people think that, but I'm eating low-fat, low-fat meal. I'm basically taking low-fat yogurt. Everything is low-fat, right? I say, well, it's not the case. That's why you're not seeing results. So let's look at data itself, right? So for the low-fat milk here, as you can see, the sugar here is 12.8 grams. And I'm using the same size of the milk for fair comparison, right? Now, if you look at the full cream milk in terms of the sugar content, it's just 5 grams. All right. So if you look at this is double, right? The low-fat milk is double the full cream milk when it comes to sugar content. Yes, you may have lesser fat in this, but you have a higher sugar content in your milk. Again, fats don't make you fat. It is just sugar that makes you fat. So this is just an example And if you were to again look at your low-fat yogurt, low-fat milk, they're all just a bunch of marketing nonsense. Stop wasting your money on that. Now, if you're wondering then, if you are not basically having lactose intolerant, what will be a better choice when it comes to dairy milk if you still want to continue drinking dairy milk, right? So these are a few brands that I personally vetted through their ingredients, and it is an approved for under the Dr. Mark Leong's dairy, right? So this is definitely one of my choice, that is goat's milk. So preferably if you can get goat's milk locally, that'll be great. But in this case, this is imported. But if you look at the ingredients here, it is just 100% pasteurized fresh goat's milk, right? So this is definitely approved. As you can see, there are no other fillers in here. This is great, right? Now, apart from that, this is another new brand that came into the radar as well, Arla. And if you look at it, it only contains whole milk and lactose enzyme, right? So this is great as well. It doesn't show there's any form of fillers in here, and this is absolutely safe, right? If you ask me, I'm gonna probably visit their factory and see how is it made. But this is made in Denmark, and of course we got Paul's here as well, which is an Australian brand, full cream milk. So obviously, if you look at the ingredients, it's only fresh full cream milk, right? So this is Dr. Mark's approved as well. So you got, a brand from Denmark, you got a brand from Australia, and then of course you got the goat's milk, which is my personal choice, goat's milk, but not something that everyone will enjoy. And I also want to, share this brand from Japan, which unfortunately I'm not sure how do I pronounce this, but it's called the Hokkaido Tokachi Yosubusha milk, right? This is pasteurized and it is only from raw milk here, right? If you look at the ingredients, it is basically super clean, right? So, yep, this is product of Japan, and the only ingredients here is 100% Hokkaido fresh milk, right? I trust that will help you to make better decisions when it comes to buying your food and groceries for yourself and your family. Now, I've also compiled a list of food that is approved by Dr. Mark Leong, and also a list that you should avoid consuming. To download that list, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and there is a button below. As long as you comment, I'm going to get my team to send it over to you, right? So make sure to look out for more of my food discoveries as well, where I'll be showing in my videos on what is safe and what is not, right? So this is Dr. Mark Leong here once again. Thank you for watching, and let me know what else would you like me to share with you when it comes to selecting your safe food.